guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. It's Mia.
And it's Josh.
And today we've just got a little video for you, taking you through our due diligence process. We're going to show you exactly what we do to find our great investments for our clients and how you can find some investments of your own.
Exactly, so make sure you stick along for the whole video. It's really going to be exciting. It's going to help you guys so much when finding a good property.
Yeah.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. And also make sure if you go down to the bottom of the description as well, our website will be displayed there. And by clicking on that link, you can also gain access to some free content on our website and also a monthly newsletter as well.
Yeah, so if you sign up to all of that, if you like what we're doing here, that's just another way you can get some of our property information every month.
Exactly. So guys, stay tuned and hope you enjoy.
Okay guys, so we've got our little setup here with the laptops.
Yep.
And we're going to jump back between filming ourselves and actually screen recording and showing you our actual laptop screen so you get up close and personal. But I think Josh is just going to take you through how we're going to start off the process.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to start off with using Rightmove. That's the way we always start. And we're basically going to show you how to filter, get really up and personal with the property that you would probably want to choose. And yeah, let's start.
Okay guys, so we're just on the homepage of Rightmove. Even though some investors and deal sources think you can get better results from going straight to a vendor, which basically means just skipping out the estate agent, actually targeting homeowners directly. Starting out or even seasoned investors still find websites like Rightmove and estate agents an incredibly helpful asset, as they could have great investment opportunities on their books that you would not find otherwise. Okay, so me and Josh have said multiple times, we focus in Coventry. So we're just going to type in Coventry there. I'm just going to say Coventry, West Midlands. So we're just doing a really generic search to start. Okay, so our price range, we don't want to go any higher than, I would say, 180. That means you're going to probably have a low enough deposit to start making good returns.
Yep.
We want no less than, I would say, 3 bedrooms for this search, let's say. And we're just going to click find properties. Okay, so this has come up with 133 results. You can see there's a lot of results here. And this is all good stuff. We could scroll through page after page looking at all of these. Okay guys, so we just showed you a bit on Rightmove about Coventry as an area as a whole, but we would never really do that because most of our clients are going to have more specific search criteria than that. So we're going to take you through today as if we've had a request from a client for a student let in the centre of Coventry. Using that criteria, it's going to be easier to narrow down our search and really look for a specific property, and that's more realistic as to what we would probably be doing on a day-to-day basis. We're going to narrow down our search to CV1, as we know that's where the university is. We can narrow down the search in our property type to just houses, because we know they do not really wanting a flat. We can add the filter that we don't want new home, because we know that's going to be a bit more expensive and probably add costs we don't need. We don't want a buying scheme because we'd rather just pay up front with a mortgage. And we obviously don't want a retirement home. Okay, so now you're left with only about 10 results suiting that client's needs. So obviously it's really narrowed it down, but you know you're going to find a property that fits all of their criteria. So I'll just sort it to lowest price first, because that means probably really good offers are going to come at the top. Okay, so at the top of this one, we've got this 4-bedroom end of terrace for 135,000. Immediately, that looks great to me. Very small price. And the 4 bedrooms would be perfect for students. Now, I'm on here, so I'm going to look at the price, 135,000, as I said. Great. When was it put on? Okay, you can see it was put on last year in October. So it's not the oldest property, but it's getting on for 4 months. If someone's desperate to sell, that's going to start really feeling like a long time to them. So we'll go down to the description for you. Okay, so in this description, you can see it says cash buyers only. Now that is a really good sign for an investor if your client is able to fulfill that, because cash buyer only really implies that this person is desperate to sell. So if they're wanting to sell cash only, 4 months is definitely going to feel like a long time. So we'll just keep a look through. 15-minute walk to Coventry University. Again, say that was one of our clients' criteria. They wanted a student let. That is perfect. 2 double bedrooms, oven. First of all, further 2 bedrooms. Okay, so it seems like it's got quite a lot of space. Let's look at the pictures. Okay, so seeing the pictures, obviously we can all agree it's not the most beautiful property, but one thing that is really clear to me is it is obviously already being used as a student let, because as you can see, all of the rooms are the same in furnishing. They've got very basic furnishing. You can clearly see it's not a family home, which is a good sign in the sense that you know it's already being used as a student let, so it could be used as that again. The bathroom we're seeing here obviously isn't in great nick. It's just a wet room, so the client would probably have to do some work here. But doing some work on a bathroom, kitchen, a paint job is pretty standard getting an investment property. You can see here a bit of damage to the kitchen. Might need some fresh cabinets, but there's 2 washer dryers, again, making it really obvious. 2 fridges or a fridge freezer. That's definitely all signs that this is student let. Again, if I just zoom up in this picture, you can actually see there where the arrow is, there's a fire exit sign. Now, if you're going to do a HMO or a student let, you need all fire doors. So the fact they have the fire exit, and I would believe because of that, that would be a fire door. They have all of these precautions here as well with the fire extinguisher and the emergency pack. That means it's pretty much already fully fitted to be appropriate and lettable as a HMO, which is great. So this is looking really intriguing. If me and Josh were doing this, we would definitely be enticed by this property. But we've now just got to go through some extra steps to really think, is there anything wrong with this property? Is it really appropriate? So next thing we're going to do is read more, look at the energy rating. Okay, so this is how efficient it is. Obviously it's not great, but it could be pretty good. So that should be fine. That means it's pretty much got the ability. There shouldn't be too many real issues with boilers and radiators there, hopefully. But let me scroll down. Coventry Station, 1 mile. That is a big tick. To be so close to transport is a great thing for an investment property. So I scroll down again, and the next thing we're going to do is click on here, market information. Now this comes up with all the other properties in the vicinity that are also up for sale, and this can really help you understand if you're getting a good price on that property or not. And obviously you can see here there's none on the same road, but 0.1 miles away you've got one for 190. Let's look at that. Obviously it's in a bit better condition, looks a bit bigger, and I think it's got the same bathrooms and bedrooms, but it does seem to be a bit bigger. But from looking at that, I would still think 135 is a great price for ours. So let me look at sold. Let that load. Okay, so on the same road, you can see St George's Road. There was a property sold in last year for 70,000. There's no pictures, so that's going to be a real good clue. Always, if there's no pictures, that property is in a state, or they would be advertising it. So I'm not really going to think that this property should be being sold for that, because I'm pretty inclined to think that that property was in pretty bad condition. But again, 0.1 miles, 187, 140. Let's look if I can see the information on that one. Okay, so 140, pretty similar to the property we've got, probably slightly nicer. So really I'm thinking 135 is looking like a really good price. The only thing that comes with that is part of me is thinking, why is it so cheap? And that really could be an indicator. You definitely have to do an in-person viewing to see if there's any structural issues, a specific reason why they're so desperate to sell. Maybe there's something wrong with the property, it's not rentable. So that's the sort of thing you'd have to see in person and ask the estate agent about. But part of me has an inkling that there are they only want cash buyers. I think these seem like people pretty desperate to sell, and that might be the reason for the price being so low. Okay, so that is just our initial search to find the property, seeing some information about it. And now we're going to show you the other websites we're going to use to really bulk out our information and knowledge and assess whether we think it's worth going ahead with a viewing. Okay guys, so we've just finished with Rightmove for now, and we're going to move on to Zoopla, another really common website that everyone knows of. So it shows that really anyone can do this process, and we're going to just find out a little more about our area and the houses to really understand our property. Okay guys, so we've moved on to Zoopla, and we're just going to use this to find out a bit more statistics about the area and also look at possible rents. So to start, I'm just going to go here on house prices and look at house prices and values. And I'm going to just look up CV1 as our generic city centre. Okay, so I'm going to click here on terraced because our house is a terraced house that we're looking at. So you can see the average price paid is 144,619. But the actual value is 141. Now, if that seems a bit confusing, it's because although a house may be purchased at a certain price, that may not actually be what it's worth. So Zoopla is just kind of showing you this discrepancy. So although someone may have paid a bit more for a property, everything we're trying to do here is to actually discover what its true value is, not just what they're expecting you to pay for it. So I'm also going to show you, so here it's gone down by 0.26%. Not a lot, but this could be because of Corona in the last 12 months. People are dropping their prices because they want to sell. This could be people trying to get in on the stamp duty holiday. There could be multiple reasons why that's dropped. Let's look over the last 5 years. And you can see it's actually gone up by almost 12%. And same for the last 10 years. Exactly, it's gone up by 42%. Which just shows property as a market is always going up in value, and it's a very safe investment long term. Okay, so just to get a bit more specific here, I'm actually going to search our property on Google Maps. So we've got St. George's Road. Let me get to Google Maps. So I'm going to search St. George's Road, Coventry, and we know it's CV1. Okay, so if I go on here, it's going to come up with a list of the different postcodes that are on that road. Now, if I take one of those postcodes and put it into Zoopla, it's going to give me an accurate statistic for those houses specifically, so I can get a really in-depth look. So we've searched 2DH for the road. As you saw, this was a postcode on that road. And you have got an average house price, let's click terraced, of 125. So that's actually dropped recently, but it says it's only valued at 112. So this may actually make us think 135 seemed low, but according to Zoopla, that might actually be a bit high for the road. So we will have to compare other house prices and really think about that when we get there, because this could be an average value, but some other properties on the road could be in really bad condition. So we will have to kind of assess that on a viewing, I would say. So now we're going to skip. So we've got to kind of feel if the paid price is fair. Okay guys, so I'm going to move on from evaluating the house price and move on to UK property to rent, to really think about some potential rental income. So I'm going to click that and I'm going to type in our CV1 postcode. Then I'll filter it down. So we're looking at a 4-bed because our property is obviously a 4-bed. And I'm just going to click houses because obviously our property is a house. Okay, so we're going to look on here. So we've got 156 results. That doesn't intimidate me. I feel like that's an okay amount to have for a city centre. We have to remember there's 2 universities here, a lot of business. So having 156 rental options does not seem like too much. The market doesn't seem too saturated. Okay, so I'm just going to pick out this top one. It's also got 4 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 lounge, just like ours. So I'll click on that. So as you can see, it's pretty basic, pretty similar to ours. Yep, garden's not great. That bathroom, again, with a little bit of work on our bathroom, it could be pretty similar. Okay, so that looks good. They're looking at 1,200 per calendar month. And attention all Coventry University students. So this seems pretty achievable if our investor is going to rent out their house that we're finding. The one property we found seems that they could also be rented out for 1,200 per calendar month pretty easily. So we could take that information to them and use our equations to work out what their profit margins could be. But I'm pretty happy to say that with a little bit of refurb, we could get our property up to this standard and they could have the opportunity to have about this much coming in per calendar month. Okay, so that's all we're going to look at on Zoopla. Obviously, there's a lot more comparison throughout the rentals, but they look all really similar priced. So I would be confident to go away and say between 1,000 and 1,200. Probably be a pretty safe bet for what you could achieve on your rental income for that property with a bit of work. Okay guys, so one quick thing I want to explain to you, not using the screen because I think it'll be easier just to say it. When you're on Zoopla looking at different properties, none came up today immediately, but it can come up with something PCM, which is per calendar month, but it can also come up with something pppw. Now that seems like a lot of P's, and when me and Josh were first researching, we were like, what the hell is that? pppw means price per person per week. Per person per week? Wait, is that 4 P's? Should it be 4 P's? It is pppw, but I accidentally added another P. The pppw is per person per week, not price. So that is what you're going to be looking at when it's a HMO or a student let, because they're going to be renting out to the people on a room basis, not as a whole house. So if it has pppw, that means that's just for one person for one room each week, depending on how many rooms you would have. So for one person for 1 month, it would be the pppw times 4. And then you would multiply that by however many rooms are in the house to find a whole calendar month rental income. There was none on Zoopla today, so I couldn't properly show you it. And it is a bit hard to say pppw out loud so many times, but hopefully that will help you on your search if you come across that, understand what it means a bit more. I was looking for that because it would help, especially if our investor was looking for a student let, to see the potential of a HMO income if you did split it room by room. But that is another way you could rent out to students if you didn't realise that already. Okay guys, so we've got a pretty good bulk of information here. Me and Josh would both feel that we're pretty confident that's a fair asking price. We're feeling pretty good that our clients could achieve good rent per month and there isn't too much refurbishment needed, but obviously we would definitely have to actually view it to know that. There are a few other websites and things you can use to find properties, find out a bit more information, or find properties away from estate agents. So we're just going to take you through a few of those now in case you need to do that on your search and show you a few tips and tricks we have. Okay guys, so now I feel like me and Josh would be pretty confident to go and view that property on what we've seen. But just to give you some more examples of websites or resources you can use if you weren't successful on your search yet. So you can actually use Gumtree, as I'm going to show you here, to maybe find some properties up for sale with people who don't want to use estate agents. This could save you a lot of time and money by skipping out that process and going straight to the homeowner directly. So I'm just going to click property and I'm just going to do for sale here. Okay, and location, Coventry, go. Okay, so I'm scroll down, there's a lot of ads. So this is someone getting in on a project that's being developed. This is a HMO in Coventry. This looks great, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom in Preston city centre, ideal for students. For sale, fully tenanted, compliant 4-bedroom HMO again. Another HMO. So this seems, it's pretty clear. These are mostly investors trying to sell to other investors who don't want to waste time for estate agents, because a normal person owning a home is not going to be advertising a fully rented HMO space, a 5-bedroom, 5-bathroom project, saying that their house is fully compliant and tenanted. So really, this is a great place to look, because as little as an hour ago, all of these have been posted. As you can see, there's actually quite a lot. And all of those would be great to follow up, because it can actually be really good to deal with another investor directly, because they also don't want to waste time or money, and it can be much quicker, more efficient deal process. And they understand your numbers, what you're looking for, so they can really help you achieve a good deal and will understand if you want to offer a certain amount, and they won't really try and mess you around as much or have the sentimental attachment to a property a homeowner does. And when they lack that sentimental attachment, they're more understanding of a lower offer or a deal to be made, because they see it as a business and not their home. So again, Gumtree can be a really great place. Last of all, I'm going to show you a website called Spare Room. Let me put in CV1, as that is our location. Okay, so on here, sorry about that, guys. On here, you've mostly got they're advertising single bed flats, but there's also going to be a lot of single rooms within a HMO. So this is a good thing to look at to find how much it's going to be for one person for one room in a HMO in Coventry. So that's 150 per week, 139 per week. So a lot less of them are per calendar month. So this is a good understanding for you to see the student rental market and how other investors are advertising and costing theirs, whether it's per week, per month, per room. And also, if you look on here, and lots of bedrooms come up in a single house, say if all 5 bedrooms of a 5-bedroom student let are up on Spare Room, you know that investor is not getting their house tenanted and is therefore losing money. So you could even reach out to the landlord of a property on here, if you see their rooms coming up a lot, to offer to take the property off his hands, or do a rent-to-rent basis, which is something we'll cover in a later video. And this can also be a way for you to find investment opportunities, because if that investor is losing money and not finding tenants, then they might be willing to let you take it so they don't have to deal with the hassle. Okay, so those are just a couple last things you could do to really bulk out your search and maybe find some other alternatives to just using estate agents. And we hope that was all helpful and that you could follow along okay using the screen recording. So yeah, thank you for staying tuned this far. Guys, and one last thing, you can actually use Facebook Marketplace. I know it sounds a bit crazy, who would be selling their house on Facebook, but this could be a good place to find leads for people to want to sell their property without estate agents or fees. So also using Facebook could be a way to find potential investment properties. Although it may not be as common, it's definitely something you keep your eyes open for. Okay guys, so thank you if you've stuck with us this far. We know that was a really bulky video, but we really hope if you are interested in property, that should all really help you. Exactly. So based on that stuff we just found, me and Josh would definitely book a viewing on that property. It could turn into a great investment because it's so low price, or we could go there and find that it has really bad structural issues, hence the low price, but it's definitely got us intrigued. So we hope all of those little tips and the websites we use could help you find your own investment property wherever that may be.
If you watched the last video as well, we did talk about one of the points being returns, and of course it is obviously necessary to see if it's obviously going to be worth your time after the viewing is conducted.
Yeah.
Really will recommend it before you actually do the viewing as well, but we will show you the calculations and all that stuff in a separate video, just so it's easier for you to jot it down as you go along, and it'll be easier to understand that way as well.
Yeah, that video is going to come next week, and I will take the rents I found, the deposit price, the purchase price, all of that gets thrown into our equations to work out your profit and loss and see if this really would work as an investment for our clients.
Okay guys, so thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button as well. And also don't forget to check out our website where you can gain access to free monthly brochures and that newsletter as well.
Yeah, so thanks for sticking with us guys, and we look forward to bringing you more videos for the rest of the week.
Thank you ever so much and take care.